The following presentation of 21 The Podcast is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Here we go. And here we go. Ugh. It's going to be hard for me to not smoke. Welcome into 21 The podcast where we talk about all the things that matter.
When I first started jacking off, I was doing it wrong. Bugs don't normally bug me, but you know what? Bugs bug the shit out of me.
Like, cool, this dude just showed me a picture of his dick. Never in my life has that been a way someone's introduced themselves to me.
Oh, he's from Freeport. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And of course, we play blackjack. I'm your host, Drew, at Mr. Oh So Cool. Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
And the least qualified producer I could find, Marcos Morales, at Dirt City Studios. And here's a live view of today's guest. Again, thanks for tuning in to 21 The Podcast. Make sure you subscribe before you go. Other than that, enjoy the show. Bitch! Marble flows.
Yeah. Turn me up.
Well, all right. All right, bring it down a little bit, Marcos. I'd like to welcome y'all in to 21 The Motherfucking Podcast. We're back again. And if you're back again, I want to thank you for your continued support. If this is your first time here, make sure you scroll down and click subscribe. My name is Drew, at Mr. Oh So Cool, with my producer, Marcos Morales, at Dirt City Studios. And today we got a very special guest, Miss Cat. Is it the Cat or Cat?
It is cat, period.
Period.
That's it.
There we go. Yeah. See, I wanted to hear the period.
Right.
I had to hear it. I didn't know if I could just like come. Like, is that a form of disrespect? Just be like, period.
Is that time?
Am I yelling at you right now?
Is it the right time?
Yo, so
Right.
everybody that's tuning in, just so y'all know, me and Marcos do take shots for money. If you want to send a super chat in, I want to send a special thanks to Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz always fucking supporting the podcast. Marcos, give us some props. Oh, here, Marcos over here fucking up already. Here we go. Thank you again, Dalton Schultz. But yeah, so if y'all want to send a super chat in, me and Marcos are going to be taking shots. Kat has to work tomorrow, so we're going to make sure we take care of her and we don't go too fucking
But
crazy
y'all get
tonight.
them fucked up.
Yeah,
I
see,
need them.
now-
Where them dollars at?
That's what I'm exactly. I love it. So, Kat, period. So I'm not gonna say period every time.
You don't have to. Hey, that's just to let them know.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Kat, will you look into this camera for me and tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Of course. Y'all, my name is Kat. I'm from Austin, Texas. Originally, I was born in Port Arthur, Texas, but I grew up here in the ATX. I've done almost everything creatively. I started out dancing, and then which led to music, which led to fashion. I was a stylist for a little bit. My first video I styled for was Charlie Boy, I Look Good.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
so-
look fly.
Hey,
I look good.
Hey, oh my mama, you feel me?
Hey.
That was my first video, but man, we styled for Baby Bash. I styled for Cash, Duro, like a lot of those Texas artists during that time that was coming out.
That's live.
And then I started to focus on myself, my music, and I've been doing that ever since. I did a TV show out of Austin. I worked for the radio station, the hip hop station out of Austin. I've done some of everything, promoted, sang, all the things.
That's fucking lit, man.
Thank
Yo,
you.
like for you to design something for a song that says "I look fly, I look good," and you're in the video like this is my shit. Like,
Right.
You damn right, you look fly. Hey, you look good.
And they was looking good.
Yo,
okay?
that's live as fuck. So Kat
For sure.
says she doesn't know how to play blackjack. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the first hand just so I can get you acclimated and make
Okay.
sure we get all this shit going.
Okay.
So like I said, You want to get as close to 21 without going over, and you also want to be closer to 21 than I am.
Okay.
Now I'm going to start you off with 2 cards.
Okay.
And you're only going to see one of my cards, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Got you.
I'm explaining too much. Well, we could just do it.
We could do it.
10. So that is just a 10.
Right.
And then you have a 4.
All right.
So altogether right now you have 14,
14.
right? And I am showing a king. So what you can do now is you can hit or you could stay. These
Okay.
aren't casino rules, but in this instance, you can hit or stay. Now, for somebody that is new to it, what you want to know is that you have to believe that I have a 10 under here as well. So if I flip this, and I'll have 20.
So kings are 10s.
Correct.
Okay.
Face cards are 10.
Got
Ace
you.
could be a 1 or an 11.
You get to choose.
It kind of goes to whichever is more beneficial in the instance.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So I'm to just assume that you have a 10 there. And so that means that I would be losing right now.
Correct. So what you
But
could do is hit and get another
and
card.
hopefully I get something under 21
Right. Under. So you need a 7 or less.
or less. Right.
Right.
Let's hit.
All right. There we go. Living dangerously.
Yeah.
And you got a queen. So you went over and you bust. But that's okay. Hey, can I get you to admit you shuffle the cards? Look at that. Look at that.
Hey,
That
I
is
did-
crazy.
I did shuffle the cards, but I'm gonna say this. I don't know. He got a little juju in here
There's a
that's
little-
in his favor.
Because
maybe.
I had the 3. Because I had the 3. And if you would have stayed, I would have
would've-
had to hit, and
You
then
right.
I would have busted.
You right. You right.
But you
I'm
know,
adventurous. My bad. All
there
right.
we
All
go.
right.
It's okay.
Okay. I think I get it. I get it.
So
See, now you're gonna have me in Vegas doing what people go there for.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
used to just go to party, but now I'm gonna be at the blackjack table.
me and Marcos just recently did a research study in Vegas.
yes.
So there was a lot of things you said that you do
Yes.
coming from, you said originally you were born in Port Arthur. And so coming from Houston, initially when I heard the first thing you said was you danced. Were you like classically dancing, or was there a dancing aspect that?
I be forgetting I gotta say that, right?
So that's the first thing I'm like, okay, hold on. I got to remember this.
So as a child, yeah, I grew up
Okay.
dancing. I did tap, jazz, ballet, modern, like all the dance. So no, I've never been a stripper.
There we go.
I have friends that are strippers. I enjoy strip clubs.
Right.
When I was younger and that was like the thing going on, I just didn't have enough confidence for that. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you. I'm skinny, so I'm like, you know what? It's probably not for me. I'm gonna let y'all
I
do
hate
it.
strip clubs, honestly. Not
Really?
hate them. Like, I appreciate everything about it, and I love titties.
Right,
Excuse
right.
me,
As we do.
Yeah, but it's just so awkward. It's just like, people looking at you in your face, and then it's like, then I have to put on my glasses, and then the manager comes up to me, and I have to say I have epilepsy, which I don't. But it's like I want to keep my glasses on because people are looking me in my fucking face.
The whole time, and they're naked. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's just like it's like
No.
oh hey yeah, nice titties. So like,
I always say the first time I walk in there, I always forget that they're gonna be naked.
Right.
But then I get acclimated. But every time I'm like, oh ma'am, oh that's right. You're supposed to be naked. You look great.
yeah, you look great.
Thank you for coming.
So about your music, tell me a little bit about how that came about. Like, how long have you been doing music? First off,
Well, I've known I can sing all my life.
Yeah.
I took like training classes, maybe like in high school, and then early on, I started to do like Austin Idols and stuff like that when that was real popular.
what's
when,
Austin Idols?
American Idol, when American
Oh,
Idol
really?
first came
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
they had like a lot of Austin Idols and stuff like that. I've worked with bands. I've done things like that. It did take me a while to kind of start doing it for myself, like professionally, like as Kat, because I just had to find the confidence in it. Like I said, I had done so many other things that kind of put you in the background, like being a stylist, doing fashion shows, stuff like that. You're not the front person, and I was okay with that for a while, but it was
Yeah.
just like, I got to do this music. I had recorded singles with different producers and things like that, but I was like, I need to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So as Kat, I've probably been operating for about 5 years or so.
Nice. And so, how do you like that decision? Like moving from behind the scenes to in front of it?
I like it a lot. I deal with anxiety a little bit, so I've had to overcome that, but that's really been fulfilling to be able to overcome it. But
Yeah.
outside of the anxiety, like everything else is all good. The industry, it's going to be the industry regardless.
Right.
You're going to go through what you go through dealing with everybody and all the things that come with it. But at the end of the day, what else would I be wanting to do? So
Yeah. What's some of the ways that you've overcome that anxiety?
doing it,
Yeah.
getting on the stage, taking those gigs. Because honestly, for a long time, I would flake. You know, I would get invited to things because I'm known. You know, I'm kind of popular. All those things. You know, so I've gotten a lot of opportunities, but sometimes I just be like, oh, I got something else to do. I'm busy,
Right.
or I just wouldn't show up. But just making that decision to show up regardless and being prepared. Because what I've learned is like, the root of anxiety is different for different people. So anxiety is always the fear of the future, and depression is the fear of the past. So it's like,
Wow, I've never heard that.
that's kind of like how it goes, you know. And so for me, the root of my anxiety was always not being prepared. It's like being put on the spot, like, oh, come up and just sing, Cat, you in the building, you know what I'm saying? And maybe not feeling prepared, but me conditioning myself on a daily basis to be a professional singer, you know what I'm saying? Putting myself in the ranks with Beyonce and Rihanna, you know, not just thinking on a local level, and carrying myself as such has prepared me, you know, to be ready. And it does alleviate that anxiety.
So it's just taking that jump. That's like what.
Committing to it,
Yeah.
you know, stop looking at yourself as a local talent, or, you know,
Stop pigeonholing yourself.
for sure,
basically.
for sure. Respecting your own talent, respecting your own gift. Because all
Knowing
these
your
people,
worth.
knowing your worth, I'm worth it. And what's so funny is I would write songs really talking to myself, because I have a song called I'm Worth It.
Yeah.
I have songs that Let Yourself Be Free. I have songs that really speak to that, taking that step in the right direction and leveling up and believing in yourself most of all. So,
Yeah. So how would you say, because you've been in Austin most of your life,
right.
how would you say that plays into your music? Like, what type of style does Austin bring to it? Because Austin's not known for a specific style, you know?
And I think that is what plays into it the most, because you can listen to my songs and I have a funk style song. I have a big band song. I have an R&B song. I have a hip hop song. I have a song where I'm rapping. And I think being from Austin has given me the power to kind of like pick from different genres and not just put myself in a box. And sometimes maybe even hinder it a little bit in my mind, because in the industry, they do try to put you in a box. So it is like, okay, what should I be doing? Where should I be? Who should I be following this lane? What's popular? Should I be playing to that? Should I be playing to this? So it has its pros and cons. But I think being from Austin, it has given me the ability to expand my horizons so that I'm able to touch on all types of genres. So,
Yeah. Speaking of horizons, I don't know if people know, but Austin is like known as the Violet Crown and everything like that because of our sunsets. Now our sunsets have like a purple hue to them.
A hue,
And
if you
when
will.
yeah, if you will. And when Kat walked up in this, what color is that as a designer? She looked like the sunset when she walked in, and I'm just
mauve?
like, oh,
I don't know, a light mauve. I
a
wanted to
light
give a
mauve.
different color.
Yeah. All right, Kat. So now we're gonna go to our second hand. So I'm
Okay,
up. I'm up
okay.
1-0. We'll play 5 hands.
Oh, he
You
winning,
ready, Marcos?
Y'all send us some money so I could, you know what I'm saying, get motivated.
There
and
we
I can
go.
get him drunk.
There we go. And then that may help you.
That may help me, guys.
So your first card is 8. And your second card is Queen. So you're looking good.
Ooh.
Unless, no, I only got a 2.
I'ma stay.
You're gonna stay. There you
Yes.
go. See, I told you you'd get it after the first hand. It's like,
Yeah.
all right. And then my next card is a 4. So I'm looking at 6.
Oh, you gonna keep going?
I get to keep going
until you go over
Until I go over.
or hit.
I go over. I don't care. I'm either gonna win or bust. So now I'm looking at 13 with a
yes.
7, and I bust.
Yeah.
With the king.
Hey, bust it wide open.
Hey. Period.
Period.
All right. So we're all tied up.
We're tied up, guys.
So, do you mind if I ask you about your daylight?
My day life?
Yeah.
Sure.
So what do you do in your daytime?
So during the daytime when the sun is out,
Yeah.
I nurture the youth. So I work for a company called Creative Action. And what we do is we teach children civil and social injustices using creative arts. So my creative medium, like I told you, I do so many different things. So I'm infusing everything I do, from dance to music to arts and crafts, all the things. So one of my core values is freedom. I'm a free spirit, free expression, free to learn. there's so many different things that people take away our freedoms from doing. You know, on a grand scheme level, we can talk about, you know, slavery and ICE and all these things. You know what I'm saying? But on a smaller level, when I talk to my kids, it's like, do you guys know you have the freedom to learn? And so with that, I kind of cultivated into fun experiences where I have songs and things that kind of correlate to my curriculum as well. Like I said before, I have a song called Let Yourself Be Free. So I'm working on like a music video for the kids, and I'm having them create like their spirit animals and just all like being free obviously is me. So, so I'm just handing that off to the youth. That's like one of my. So
through, I mean, for sure the Trump era and everything, I know this has been like there's been a lot of attack on this type of learning from both sides, honestly, too. How do you feel like that's played into how you approach it?
Honestly, I was always like afraid to be like too harsh with kids, but kids you can be the realest with. Right. Kids you can be like super real. It was crazy because this semester I'm teaching kindergartners, right? And they're very young, so they probably don't know about like slavery and what's going on and stuff like that. It's either good or bad.
If a kindergartner comes in knowing about slavery, this is going to be a dangerous kid.
So listen, it was one kid. It was one kid that knew because I asked the whole class, and everybody was like, "Oh no, I don't know what that is." But one kid did know, and it was a little white boy, right? And so this is what he said. He was like, "People that look like me think that people that look like Camden, which is a little black boy, are bad." And he was like, and that's not right. And I'm an ally. I was like, all right.
Wow.
Got my white ally in here. No, and it's so.
And how old are kindergartners?
5 and 6.
That's crazy.
Yes.
What a thing to say.
And his like he'll come to school with like his mom will have put that colored chalk in his hair, so his hair will be red or blue. Like, and he's such a smart little boy too, you know. And they're all smart. Like, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I ain't got no stupid ass kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like they are very smart. I can talk to them like adults. They understand things. And I think the things about children. Let me back up a little bit. Like 2020 when George Floyd happened. It kind of set the tone, and I started working on a more civil rights EP and stuff like that. So I was performing at protests and involving myself with more like foundations and charities and these groups of politics and politicians. And it's not easy dealing with adults when it comes to politics. It's just not. And so for me, I was like, okay, what else can I do? How else can I do this? Kids. And they really are the easiest. Kids want to learn. The thing about kids is they want to be good people.
First thing I think about though, like it's only because of where I daylight, and I don't talk about it too often, but it's like it is a very politically charged place. Okay. And so like when you say it's like kids are the easiest to talk to about this, and you know, and although they do understand, it's like it's crazy to think that if you're any part of a young child's life, like they're going to go on and, you know, it's going to be a part of their life. Right. So it's like, and I'm not a parent, I don't have any kids, but it's just crazy to think that like, you know, you send kids to school or you send kids to daycare or, you know, whatever. And you don't know what a lot of these people, I mean, you seem squared away, you know what I mean? But it's like, there's people that think that same way, but then have a certain agenda that they want to get through. You know what I mean?
Right. And so the program, well, the parents, they already know what type of program their kids are involved in. They already know. So especially if there are little white kids coming to our program, they already know that they're going to be, you know, indoctrinated with understanding that these race relations, these things are going on. Right. So the parents know, and they do a pretty heavy vetting system. We do have to turn in our lesson plans. People do need to know, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's the risk at the end of the day that you take anyway. Right. Like think about how many teachers you had that were probably racist. Yeah, you know 100%. What I'm saying? Right. You know? Yeah. So but like I said before, fuck adults, man. I can't. Yeah. No. Hey. I mean, because at the end of the day, even if a group of adults want to make better for things, there's still it's a whole bunch of bullshit that comes into it, and you can't regulate them on their bullshit. Kids, you can regulate them on. Kids and adults they're technically the same, like emotionally. They lash out at times. It's just adults learn to have discernment on when to do those things. So you have to teach kids that part. But adults, man, they be fucking
What do you
off.
mean by discernment? I don't know the exact like definition. Is it like resentful? Like,
No, discernment is you being able to know when to do something. So I have the discernment to know that in front of my grandma I don't need to be smoking weed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
have the discernment to know that it's time for me to turn up and party right now, but it's not time for me to turn up and party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So adults know that part, but kids, they want to turn up and party all the time.
Yeah,
you know?
all the time. Yeah.
So that's probably the only difference. But at the end of the day, kids really want to be good.
100%.
And adults have their own agendas, especially when it comes to politics. And so that just kind of, I still have to, it's my job as an artist, as a citizen of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to fight for all rights and things like that. But I think if you really have a passion to make a change, it starts with the kids.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's a well, we'll get into it after this hand.
Okay.
We're going to put a quick pin in it. You ready, Marcos? Marcos, bro, I'll know you're ready if you just throw up the music. I haven't talked shit to Marcos yet because I've made a goal this season to be nicer to Marcos. And you see that? You see that? You see how nice I've been?
I like
I've been
that.
great. I've been really good about
I
it.
like that.
And your
Making
first
me-
card, Cat,
All
is
right.
4.
4, guys.
And then your second card is a Jack. So you're looking at 14.
This is where I was
And I'm
last
showing
time.
a Queen. Yeah, we're back at that same point. You can't assume the same thing would happen, though.
Namaste. Namaste.
That's what it sounded like. I was like, fuck, we're about to do yoga. And I got a Queen.
Oh, my
I said you couldn't assume it. I said you couldn't assume it. But, I mean, I guess with the outcome of the last hand that was like that, it's a solid state.
It's all right. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much closer I would have gotten than your 20. We could have tied. What happens when you
Coulda got
tie?
a
You
7.
keep going? Oh, I could have
No,
seven.
we just tie and nobody gets a point. We play a whole nother hand.
Oh, okay, got you.
In Vegas, they just like if you put up $5, they'll put $5 next to your chip because y'all just fucking. Or
So,
no, take that back. If
punch it.
you just keep your they push it and you keep your $5. It's up there.
So when you do it in Vegas, you put down your money first for the bet, and then they
Right.
give you a card.
Right.
So you say like they match you. So like I put down 100. If I win the hand, I get 200.
No, when you do
You
it in
get- they give
Vegas,
you 100.
first you put your chili dog bag on the floor next
Okay.
to the cards.
Where did I
first.
get my chili dog from? Because I need.
Hold
to,
on.
'cause
What was
I-
it? It was
'cause
James Coney Island.
James Coney
Oh,
Island.
And
yes.
just mind you, it's 5 in the morning.
Yes.
Well, we didn't know
That's
that.
why I love Vegas. I have a problem.
But yeah, you put a bet down no matter what it is. Of course, the tables have a minimum, but then like if you put up $100 and you win, they give you $100 and you.
So
take
they have a minimum. What's usually the minimum?
I like to find the $5 tables.
Mm-hmm.
Those are most of the time full because everybody wants a $5 table.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like, dude, I was playing $25 hands at one point.
Yeah.
Out there, and I was just like, God damn, I've really moved up in life.
Yeah, look at you. So how do you? I don't want to spend too much time on your
No,
game.
we
But
can talk
how
about
do
whatever.
you become like strategically good at this?
A lot of losing.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm trying to figure out like this. It seems just by chance, but I guess most gambling is.
Well, they say that blackjack has the most. You have the
Probable.
That's the game where you have the most control.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because I mean, there is a very strategic way to play it. I mean, there's fucking books on it. Yeah.
cards.
And then you could count cards if you're like you're an educator, so
single
we
deck-
won't say anything like
Yeah,
that.
Single deck dealers.
see, because I like to be good at things.
Right.
You know, I have a perfectionist problem. So,
No, that's
so that's why. So don't get me involved. Like, and I don't play games that much. So like, when you get me involved with something I kind of like, and I'm like, okay, so how can I do
yeah.
this?
So how do I make sure I'm great at this? Do you ever find it to be a problem that you have a perfectionist problem?
For sure. For
In what
sure.
way?
Because nothing's perfect. Nothing is perfect. Like as
Right.
I feel like as a woman, when you get to a point where you are a woman, because it takes a long time for us as adults to be men and women, you know, truthfully, like through your 20s, you're mostly still a little girl, a little boy, you know, you still fucking off doing stuff. But when you become a woman, you become more like well put together and, you know, carry yourself as such and, you know, just
Coming into your own.
coming into your own.
Yeah.
And so I think as a Virgo, sometimes we
Hey,
can be-
Virgos, happy belated, by the way.
Happy belated
She's
to
a
you
day. She had her
too.
birthday the day before mine. Marcos just had a birthday this past weekend.
We might be the same people.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, we're all the same people. That's
all
why
the
we're
same
having great
people.
conversations.
I think so too.
But Marco said he's on the edge of whatever the fuck is after us. So he's
he
like,
cussed.
yeah,
I
he's
get a little Libra.
he's
in
on.
my-
So he
yeah,
gets-
he's on the Libra tonight.
Yeah,
He gets
Libra
the
and my
best of both
cuz.
worlds. He gets the balance of the Libra.
Fuck that. He's a fucking Virgo, and you just need to accept it, Marcos.
Accept it, bro.
You
I
gotta
get it
accept
all.
it.
I wouldn't want to be nothing but a Virgo, honestly.
No, who would? Who would?
I can't think of a sign that I want to be over a Virgo.
Man.
And I don't want to be that person.
No, 100%.
But that's how Virgos are. That's how
Exactly.
that's how we are. We think that we're the perfect sign.
Hey, Marcos, my cigarettes over there?
Yeah.
I'm jonesing, bro. My bad.
I'm jonesing. Speaking of the jonesing, man, why are they putting fentanyl in everything? I just saw a meme where they said they were putting fentanyl on weed.
So, yeah, but I don't think it's just like, I mean, unless the CIA is really just tied in like that and just
That
doing
Delta
it.
6-9.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's just.
That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I get my weed from a reputable dealer
Right.
in California.
In the parking lot.
Listen. Oh my
But no,
geez.
that's I mean, obviously we know the stories about why crack was introduced to the population. It's the same fucking thing with fentanyl.
Yep.
But unfortunately, this thing is even more deadly.
That shit's crazy.
Yo, it's like I can't. But shouts to my boy from The Wire, fucking Omar.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yo, I
Mark,
did feel bad about that, but when I first heard about it, I knew exactly what happened. You know what I'm
Really?
saying? Before, like, you know, anything.
I didn't know. But then when I heard, I mean, it sucks.
It's like Rick James said, cocaine's a hell of a drug, but fentanyl ain't no fucking joke.
Ain't no fucking joke.
Like, where the fuck? Like, I don't even know where I would go and get fentanyl right now.
What is the purpose for it?
I think it's like heroin. Is that
Okay.
right, Marcos? Marcos is the drug guy.
Why am I supposed to?
I was like, Marcos, what you doing in your spare time to where you know about it?
I don't know.
Well, Marcos knows about drugs. He's not the drug guy.
Why you just gonna throw
think
that man under the bus like that?
He's an educated man, and he's educated in
of
certain
the
realms.
world.
I'm a worldly man.
He's a worldly man. I ain't mad at you.
No, what is
I ain't mad
fentanyl
at
though?
you.
Isn't it like heroin?
Yeah, it's like extreme morphine type
Morphine.
painkiller.
Goodness.
Opiate.
And these people are just like there's people snorting it. They're taking it as pills. I mean, honestly, isn't fentanyl like in a lot of prescription drugs too?
I think
I'm pretty
that's
sure.
what they're. I
Not
don't know
a
anything
lot.
about it.
No.
No.
But this is like but it's an opioid.
It's a
Is it?
Right.
controlled substance. It's a controlled substance for sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's crazy as
Can't even
fuck.
take drugs no more. What's
Yeah,
happening? No,
yeah. What happened? It's like, golly, I'm just trying to have a little fun here, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Well, okay. So now, after this hand, I'm gonna bring up what I was gonna talk about after 2 hands ago.
Okay.
So we're going to the next hand right now.
Okay. I'm gonna win this time, guys.
Look at Marcos.
Big 10.
Got a big 10. And then you got 8, so you got 21 on 21.
Ooh.
And just for prosperity.
Told you I was gonna win. I told you I was gonna win. I told you I was gonna win. I
we're
called
going
it.
to the final countdown. It's 2-2
So
right
it's
now.
a tie.
It's a tie right now.
All
we got
right.
the last tiebreaker coming up. So like I said, I do work at a place that's kind of politically charged. How with your activism and everything you do within that realm, like even when it comes to like teaching your kids and everything like that, how did 2019 through now fare? You know what I mean? Like, how did it go?
Oh, like I said, it sparked the EP in me because I feel like as artists, it's our job. You know, we pull from so many other inspirations and motivations, whether it's sex, love, thing, you know, family stuff, all the things. So why wouldn't we address civil and social injustices?
But did it make it harder, like when it comes to like your education, like your teachings?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think it make it harder. I think for me, the only thing, like I said, was just figuring out that kids can handle it.
Yeah.
Not being too afraid to say, like, because in one of our trainings, I was explaining this idea I had, right? And this is kind of it's a bit much, but I'll explain it to you.
Go for it.
So basically, what I wanted to do is I wanted to explain, and this was for older kids. This isn't for the younger group I have now. I wanted to maybe tell everybody to close their eyes and calmly speak to them and be like, okay, so you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you get ready for work, you get ready for school, go to school, you have a good day, you have a bad day, what or whatnot, and then you go home, you eat dinner, you go to sleep, and then all of a sudden you're awakened by police in your house and they shoot you dead. And I wanted to have the sound of the guns and because your eyes are closed. So I'm more slowly walking you through it. I'm physically walking you through your day to day, like, and then there's that shock of you being woken up to gunshots like Breonna Taylor was. And so just the discussion of doing an exercise like that, figuring out what is too much and what is too little. Because for me, it was like, it's happening. Like, we're having these conversations. We're doing these things. We're taking it to that level, because where else are they going to hear about it?
And
you know,
when,
and they
who
are
knows
going
when
to,
it's going to happen.
and it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to happen again. These things are going to continue. They've always happened. It's just social media is putting it in our living rooms. It's putting it right on our phones. You know what I'm saying? So addressing it with kids, we can't be afraid of it. So for me, it was, that part wasn't hard. I think the hardest thing for artists and an artist like myself, like far before I really got into my artistry, I was like, you know, I want to be able to do all the things. I want to be a sex symbol, but then I want to be able to be righteous. You know what I'm saying? Then I want to be ratchet if I want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think as an artist, sometimes you don't want to pigeonhole yourself. So I don't want people to only know my record, No Justice, No Peace. You know what I'm saying? I want them to also know my fun records. I want them to know my sexual records. I want them to know I want to be able to do those things without feeling like you're going to judge me or you're not going to take me serious in another avenue. So I think that's probably the hardest part, but the kids make it easy and they want to know. And the kids get serious.
Yeah.
They get just as serious as you do when this happens.
Yeah.
Like, I have this one thing that I've been doing with them to kind of teach freedom is like, what if kids ruled the world? What if you were in charge of everything? What if you were in charge of adults? What would you have adults do? And of course, it's like fun things, like it'd be free toys and we wouldn't bathe and we'd swim all day, you know, shit like that. But then it gets real, because it's like, well, if we had wars, we wouldn't use real guns. We'd use Nerf guns so nobody would die. You know what I'm saying? And that lets you know that kids are like,
I don't know if that's going to take over a country.
but if it's all kids,
Right, yeah.
But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it lets you know that kids know that, like, people are dying,
Yeah.
senseless deaths.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but
Okay, this is my last educator question, then we'll get to some fun
we
shit.
getting ratchet, you know?
Yeah, that's period. Hey, so how do you feel about the fact of, like you said, like Facebook is putting this shit in our living rooms? What do you think that is doing to, because younger kids, a lot of times the parents now handle them tablets, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, although they may not be directly on Facebook or anything like that, I mean, some of these kids are getting on YouTube and they're able to see God knows what.
Everything.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do you feel that that's affecting the kids coming up today? Yeah, it's a loaded question. And then I promise we'll have fun.
No, I mean, it can go either way. I think that's why as parents and educators, we have to equip our children with understanding right from wrong, but also cause and effect. Because I always say like, because I'm able to argue both sides of things. I'm always able to see the silver lining or both sides of whatever, even bullshit. I can even argue somebody's bullshit because it's going to happen, because that's cause and effect.
Right.
It doesn't make it right or wrong, but we do have to understand cause and effect. And I think if we equip our children with those things, they can see that shit, but then they can be like, okay, I know this isn't right. You know what I'm saying? I know that this happens, but it doesn't have to be what I do or how I react to it. So I think it just comes to, like, because you can only parental advise your kids so much. Right. I actually had so like sometimes at the end of class, I let them like use their iPads or whatever. And so one of the kids, her mom actually works at the school. So she was coming to pick her up, and the little girl was looking at Kids Bop. You know, Kids Bop, they redo all the damn songs. Yeah. Oh my God.
And it was like Future?
It was Old Town Road.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
So the mom, this actually happened, this was yesterday, but then today after class, she was like, hey, if you could just not let her, she was like, I'm not like mad at you or anything. I know she pulled it up, and I know it's Kids Bop. I know it's appropriate, but she's like, if you would just not let her listen to Old Town Road, because I think the words is like, I can do whatever I want to do, something like that. She was just like, I don't know how she's, and it was like exactly what you're asking me. She was like, I don't know how she's going to perceive I can do whatever I want to do. And she's a very sassy little girl. She's one of those kids where, like, if you ask everyone in the class one thing, she's going to say the opposite. Right. Because that's how she is.
You
know
mind
if
I ask what color she is?
She's black.
Yeah.
She's black. Yeah.
And I wonder if that played into why it was specifically that song as well. You know what I mean? He's in a lot of the media that we're seeing nowadays, you know.
I don't want to say too much. I feel like part of it was like her mom was like, I don't want her listening to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see he out here, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't want to open the gate for her to see more of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I guess for me, in the moment, it was kind of like that was the kid's craze at a point. Yeah. Like, before he decided. That was a hot fucking song. Yeah, before he decided to switch it the fuck up, like, you know, or I guess just be more open. Like, I'm not against what he's doing. I see you're
picking your words carefully,
right? Because I don't want you to, you know, I don't want to offend anybody.
So you can't offend me, but yeah,
right.
I mean, here we go.
But I feel like the hard switch definitely happened. There was a hard 100%. Switch. You can't have kids fall in love with your song and then, because this is my thing, and I have this discussion and I can say it right here. I don't have a problem with any community or anything like that. Like. That's I don't care. Fuck who you want, love who you want. That's not my issue or anything like that. But I wouldn't take my child. Like, if my child came to me and said, you know, I want to be a little girl. I want to be opposite of what I am, or I love opposite of what I should, or what is perceived by society as I should. I'm not gonna take my child to a what's the parade called?
Like a pride parade.
A pride parade, only because, like, at pride parades, they be swinging dicks. They be, like, doing, like, sexual things. Right. And I think when it comes to the difference between sex and sexuality, people don't understand that. Sexuality has nothing to do with dick and vagina. It has nothing to do with fucking. Right. Sexuality is who you feel like you are. And that's where we can address with kids. But I don't care how old you are. You don't need to be seeing people sucking bananas. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think that's what I'm saying about oh boy. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't make it PG and then just switch it up so hard. Switch it up
so hard.
Hard switch. And that's purposeful, and that's the type of shit they do in the industry. I mean, get your money, get it how you want, but if I have kids and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think it's a lot.
I mean, the fucking, the short of time it was from Old Town Road to putting blood in some devil shoes.
For giving the devil a lap dance.
Like, come on, yo. Shit's crazy.
Swinging down the pole from earth to hell.
like seriously.
Like, that shit is purposeful. You can't say it's not. I have the attention. Just like I said, I'm done dealing with adults, so I'm gonna go and talk to the youth. I'm gonna build it up from the ground up. He did the same thing. He captured the youth, and then he's gonna implant them with, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and see, that's why I asked the question I did about, like, you know, it's easier to get onto the kids. You know what I mean? And then that also is just a microcosm of what the future generations are going to be.
True.
You know what I mean? So it's like, when we get of age to where we can't, like, what is this gibberish on the fucking on the radio? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like, by that time, it's like, who the fuck are these people? And it's like, what happened? Where did it go wrong?
Yeah.
But I'm already there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Marcos is like 69 today. Jeez Louise. Fuck. God damn you, Marco.
It's all your fault, Marco.
Fuck you, Marco.
Yeah, exactly. So I was talking about choosing your words carefully when we talk about shit like that, because there is, and we talked about this prior to the show, is there's a fine line of cancellation.
Right.
How do you guide that as a woman in the industry?
So, well, as far as that goes, I think that we have to give each other grace. You know, we're all learning. We all come from a time where people weren't allowed to be themselves. Even women, there was a time where we weren't allowed to work. We weren't allowed to get a bank account by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're all coming from times where we weren't able to fully have that freedom to express ourselves. So I think we just need grace as a whole. But like I said, as a woman, I think, because I said it before, and I feel like women are more easily cancelable, but I don't know.
And why do you think that?
Only because I feel like once a woman is like falling from her pedestal, like, first of all, you men, y'all all put us on these impossible pedestals.
You men,
y'all put us on these.
We love women,
and that's always my argument with people, because people are like, why don't men hold other men accountable? Why don't women hold other women accountable? It's because we're not fucking women, and they're not fucking men. They're fucking women. Like, you know, we're fucking the opposite sex. So that's who we have our grievances with. That's who we have our love for. That's who we have these opinions for. Yeah, I should hold other women accountable. Yeah, you should hold other men accountable. But at the end of the day, You don't give a fuck about them.
Yeah.
You looking for the bitches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What he's
So-
doing?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I totally get that. Put that man out.
Fuck you,
Put that
Marco.
man out.
Oh yeah, exactly. Marco just be saying like, yo, I've always said because of like the shit that we can't talk about,
Yeah.
that I will never use.
Dog fight.
Yeah, I will never use a derogatory, a sexual derogatory term to Marcos, but he acts in that manner quite a bit.
Man,
With that being said,
chili dog fight's not even
because that is
not gay.
that is not gay. That is not gay.
at all.
But with all that being said, like when you think about like the baby, right? And so you think he came back from his cancellation easily, right?
I don't know if he back yet.
I think he's back.
You think he's back? Okay. He might. You know what? I think I'm thinking personally. So, and I'm
Yeah.
such a strong-minded person. Sometimes I have a problem with stepping outside of what I personally think. But you're right.
No.
You're right.
That's what I want to hear about is what you personally think about.
You're right. He probably did come back. Yeah, I guess he has come back.
What did you
easily.
think of? Did you think he deserved to be canceled through that?
I think he just took it too far.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think anybody deserves to be canceled unless you are like R. Kelly status or, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that.
Physically hurting people.
Physically hurting people, enslaving people in a time like
Yeah,
right now.
right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Sexual
yeah.
slave, stuff like that.
Well, this was in the 90s. I guess, I guess it was okay back then.
And obviously
it
fucking
just,
was.
It just went on.
The parents was okay with it.
Like, geez.
God damn. But I think that canceling is, first of all, it's bullshit because you cancel for a little bit, then you know what I'm saying, all you gotta do is just, either stay consistent with your shit like Doja Cat did.
See, that was my retort because when she got canceled, it's like it never happened. But I mean, obviously, she wasn't on the level of the baby. No offense to Doja Cat, but she was nowhere near the baby status at the time.
Right.
But she was doing some wild shit if you go back and look at it.
I think the reason that Doja Cat was able to overcome that is because we weren't her audience.
Right.
Like white people were her audience.
Big
and they
facts.
didn't give a fuck. What she was doing was a plus to their community.
Yeah.
So that's why she was still supported through it. I think if a black woman that her only audience is an urban audience, if she gets canceled, it's like Chrisette Michele. Chrisette Michele, what did she do? She performed at the inaugural thing for Trump. She fucked up.
Right.
But she was canceled for a long time and still is trying to fight through that cancel. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know what Chrisette is going through to get that check. You don't know how much that check was. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. People are going to make bad decisions.
Yeah.
People are not going to do what's right and wrong. But there is a cause and effect for everything. And we can't just write these people off because they still got to pay bills. Like if it's somebody as big as the baby, think about how many people the baby feeds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think just going about it the right way to show that you're sorry and to show that you want a better understanding of the community and like that. I think that's the way.
That's the way that he drug himself out of it. You know what I mean?
Right. He doubled down on the shit.
But then it's like the lady you were talking about before,
Chrisette Michele.
Chrisette Michele. I mean, that has, just because she performed at that inaugural thing, but then you had Kanye do this fucking crazy shit, and now it's like people are still like, oh my god, Kanye. It's like that never happened.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So I mean
Yeah.
but I wonder if it's because of like the level of celebrity.
I think sometimes the level of celebrity plays into it.
Yeah.
But when you get to the level of celebrity, you also have an understanding. That's why.
I don't think Kanye understands anything.
But I was gonna say back to the woman and man thing.
Right.
Like that's why you'll never see Beyonce act up. That's why Beyonce took so long to be more sexual in her songs. You know what I'm saying? That's why you only get the artistry of Rihanna. You don't get her personal life. You know what I'm saying? You get what these people give you because they know, and they have PR teams and all the teams and the teams on teams to make
that's a
sure,
solid fucking
and
point.
TMZ in their pocket to make
Right.
sure that their craziness doesn't get out because it'll be the end of them.
On like a feminism point, do you think that's still part of the patriarchy? I say patriarchy like this only because for my next question.
For sure. I think it goes to that pedestal I was talking about. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I think every woman deserves that pedestal, but it needs to it needs to be refined to what it really is, because at the end of the day, women are human.
Yeah.
We're going to make mistakes.
Right.
We're going to be dumb just like y'all are dumb in the beginning, and then we'll figure it out just like we all have to figure it out. So it's like you can't take away what you love about me and keep, like, or take away what you hate about me and keep what you love about me, because it's they play off each other. They make each other greater. So it makes me greater.
So if there was do you believe society would be better if it was a matriarchy? Is that a word? I think that's a word. If not, I just coined it.
If it's not, you just made it up.
But it makes you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I definitely know what you're talking about. It's the word, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
I like it. Damn. Ooh,
So
if there was a matriarchy, I always say yes. I've had this conversation before.
Really?
Definitely. Because men lead with ego. And so there's a thing. So toxic masculinity is like ego. It's like over
100%.
abundance of ego, right? But toxic femininity is not the same thing. People think when they think of toxic femininity, they think of like hoes that be like finessing and getting niggas out of money and shit like that.
That's not what I think about.
Okay. But that's kind of like what do you think about?
I think about like that female soccer player who that's the first thing I think about of toxic femininity. And then I think about women that are and listen, I'm pro-choice. I'm definitely pro-choice. But I've seen a lot of videos of women being like, I kill my kids and shit like that. That's what I think about when I think about toxic femininity.
Okay. So that kind of goes into the realms a little bit. But I think like ignorant people, that's
like the far feminist.
Right. That is like, that's the psychologically fucked up. Yeah, that's a sociopath. Right.
Yeah.
That's way, we can be toxic, but we ain't killing nobody.
Yeah.
So like, but what generally I think what they do is they'll say like it's a woman trying to be a man with what they think of. So that's why I say like the trying to finesse and stuff like that. But toxic femininity, I can't.
There you go. You got it.
I've been on that Esplanade.
Anemone.
They have me drinking, guys. So listen, is like it is a byproduct of what you're saying. It's like when you overly nurture, when you've lost your identity in nurturing.
But it almost makes your point just saying it's a woman trying to be a man. Because
what, over nurturing?
No. That proves like the way toxic masculinity would look at feminism. Because that's kind of toxic to think of feminism as a man or as a woman trying to be a man, because the woman's not necessarily trying to be the man.
I'm
you know
saying,
what I mean?
Right, and I'm saying that's the way that society looks at it. But what it actually is a woman over nurturing, like losing herself in being a nurturer. So I think that if that is what we had to deal with in matriarchy, that would be a good thing, because I think that's the one thing that we're missing from all these systems that we've built.
Let's say the Taliban took over Afghanistan. What are we doing in a matriarchy?
Hey, I know some bad bitches, all right?
Let's go.
They'll kill over they cubs. What you talking about? Shit. I might be petite, but I know some Amazon bitches out here. All right? Don't play. See, that's what I'm saying. Don't play.
Yeah.
Don't play. You know what I'm saying? So, I that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't, we get so caught up in like, men built this world that we have now. You know what I'm saying? This is all we see. It could be a different way.
Yeah, we did.
It could be a different way.
I gotta bring this up only because I just watched this movie about the guy who made Wonder Woman. He made it about submission to a loving authority, is what he called it.
Take your camera, Marcos.
Talking about being tied up, so they would like S&M whip you, stuff like that.
The dude wanted to be tied up?
The dude was into all the being tied up stuff.
He wanted to be submissive.
He wanted to be submitted to a loving authority, and the loving authority was women. And he was like creating Wonder Woman to show people that you could submit to the female loving authority, but you had to submit willingly,
right?
And trust that they weren't going to like abuse their authority over you while you're tied up and submitted.
Yeah, that's the whole thing of being a submissive, though, on both ends. Like you have to fully submit yourself to this person, and
can't do it. Can't do it.
So you wouldn't let a woman tie you up?
Nah, fuck no.
I mean,
I couldn't say I wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying.
But it wouldn't be a full-time thing.
You wouldn't always. It wouldn't be like what she trying
Like
to
you're
pull
not
out.
walking away walking with me on a leash or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like,
And that's not for you, but it's
Right.
men that pay for that.
Love that shit.
They
Yeah,
pay
yeah,
for
yeah.
that. They want these women. They're doms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that. It's their job.
That's a fucking. I mean, it's tough as a toxic masculinist to think of something like that though. Like it's just like.
I don't kink shame.
No. I'm not kink shaming.
Right.
It's just
No,
not for me.
Wherever
personally.
you're right, exactly. Right. It's not your thing. No, I couldn't either because I don't know. I'm not gonna just be tied up.
I mean, being tied up in general is fucking crazy.
Right.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I think it's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Oh,
to your
no.
freakdom.
Yeah. Right.
To your freakdom. You gotta be
Goodness. Like, imagine, like they tie you up to some some fucking. It's Brooklyn Pipe, but it's like in the sewer system, so you cannot or just rip it out. You know what I mean?
Okay, that
And
sounds
then-
like some Saw shit too.
That's what I'm saying. and then like Jigsaw rises, like, I want to play a game.
I'm just wondering,
Gary.
like,
But your underwear's already on
Gary.
the floor, and you're like, oh shit.
Your keys have been force fed to bingo. Are you gonna kill your best friend, or be late to work for another day of the week? Like,
oh my
jeez
god,
Louise.
I'm just wondering what got you to that level of freakdom. Like, cause you just
Yeah.
don't start out like this is
Right.
where I'm at.
It's like on some Dahmer shit, like
Yeah.
eating people. Like, I think that's the ultimate. Like, maybe, just maybe, we're kink shaming that guy. Maybe that's just how he got off.
Okay, so this is the
He
thing.
worked up to that.
This is what I always say. Listen, you can do whatever you want to do, but when you become a criminal,
Right.
when you start to break the law in what you're doing, that's where we have the problem. Like you could be mad at me. I might be a shitty person. I might, do all these things to you, but as long as I'm not breaking the law,
Yeah.
like you can't.
So, like, if your kink was like tax evasion, that's where you draw the line.
That gets me out.
Period.
That's good. That's good. That's
It's just like we
good.
gotta follow the tax. So,
Oh shit.
oh fuck! All right, Kat. We're going to the tiebreaker right now.
Hey,
It's 2-2.
Y'all send me some good vibes, some positive vibes
We
out
need
there.
some fucking good vibes. I'm
I'm
gonna.
winning.
You know what? I'm even gonna give you good vibes with a 2 of hearts,
I guess it's a heart. I don't know.
and then you got a 9, so you're looking at 11.
All right.
That's strong. And I'm showing an 8.
Hit me.
There you go. Face card, and a face card. So you got 21 on your final hand. Let's see if I can tie you. I got 5, so I got 13, and I got 9, so I bust.
Hey,
So Kat
big
wins
win.
on
Big
21 the
win.
podcast.
I told y'all I came to win. I don't play no motherfucking games.
She don't. She don't,
Second
obviously.
cat, period.
Hey. So on some ratchet shit,
Hey.
what's the craziest thing that somebody said to you in the club?
In the club.
Yeah, just like walking. It could be like a pickup line. It could have been a girl in the restroom. It could be anything. It's the craziest thing.
I don't know.
Because you have an aesthetic about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's,
I know.
I could assume people come up to you and say crazy things.
People do come up to me and say crazy. I can't think of anything right now though. I think the craziest thing though, because I am heterosexual, is when women try to hit on me though.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is like the craziest thing, because I'm not surprised, but I am taken aback by it every time it happens, because I'm just like, so like that's when I become like a giddy little like any other time I'm superwoman in this bitch, but then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh bitch, you trying to touch me?
Yeah, yeah.
And they be bad too, so it's like, I'm like, I can't think of the craziest thing anybody's ever said to me. Damn.
I know if I was approached by a guy, which has happened once, once legitimately, twice I thought it was, but it wasn't. But like I get like, hey bro, step the fuck off, like this shit. Hey, I know it's fucking funny everything I'm saying, but you're getting a little fucking close, guy.
Get a little close.
Yeah.
This is one comedian where like he was tricked into a date. Like he was working out. No, he was playing basketball with this with some guys or whatever, and the guy was like, hey, I got tickets to the Lakers game after this, you trying to go? And it was just like a whole night of things. He was like, hey, I'm gonna order some food and
whole
all this
date.
a date. And at the end of the night, he mad because he got dated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was like, I didn't even know, but he was like, I never been treated
He
this
got
way.
swept off his feet.
He was smitten in that bitch. Who you mad that. You know what I'm saying? Like women treat your men because they like to feel smitten.
Yo,
you know?
for real. Hey, I can agree with that. I want to be smitten. Goodness.
I want to be swept off my feet sometimes.
Please. It's going to be a lot of sweeping, but it'll be worth it.
It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. No, that's for real though, ladies. You do one thing, that's all because it's not trained for men to get that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always like women need to be put on the pedestal. So when you flip the script, they so appreciative.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I definitely agree. It's interesting, like, you think about the matriarchy, and that would be fucking crazy because when you think of it, like if we completely like took it on like flipped it on its belly because it was on its back, so now it's on its belly, and it was like dudes were giving each other compliments, and we're looking fucking cute as shit, and we're just like we're the belle of the ball. We're the belle of the fucking ball.
I like it.
It's like, how would y'all act? Like, would y'all just be like? Because it's like, one of the manly things that people talk about is like nasty. They're just walking around grabbing their balls and shit. Like, what are y'all gonna be doing? Like, just pushing up tits? Like, like what's up, dude?
Slamming bitches on the ass and shit. You know what I'm saying? But if we go back to modern times, is there not a cross between all of that?
It's all mixed up right
We
now.
have men that are bells of the ball.
That
and we
is
have
true.
women that wear their straps all the time.
I was gonna say,
That is crazy. I'm sorry. It's not
No.
crazy, but it's a little good.
There's this show where this girl, she's like a butch dyke or whatever. It's a really good show. I think it's on HBO and I can't think of the name of it right now. But she addresses like,
Is butch dyke an appropriate term? I can say butch dyke.
I don't know.
I don't think
you
I can.
can't.
I can't. She can't.
She can't.
Please don't. Cancel
I always
me.
thought it was bull dyke.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
You
I
can't
don't know.
say that.
I don't know.
She is.
We're trying to figure it out.
She's not a femme. So
Yeah.
her thing. So like one thing she addressed on the show was like, I'm trying to be shirtless like how niggas do. You know what I'm saying? So she brought in other women that were manlier. I don't see, now you got me fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. They do it all the time.
Studs. Let's call them studs.
Okay, studs.
Yeah.
Thank you. So she brought in other studs that were like sitting there having an interview like this with their shirts
Shirt
out,
off.
with their titties out.
This is how we do it, Marcos.
Yes.
This is how we get titties on the show.
Yes.
We get a bunch of fucking studs.
Yes. She
It's
was
like, what's up, bro?
and she was asking them like, how did you find the freedom to just be able to, because she wanted to do it and she could never do it. But by the end of the show, she was riding around drop top with the titties out, and she got like big titties too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was, I mean, shit like for me, shit like that is interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
honestly, I like to see that community like find their way and see it in shows and stuff like that. Like, I know it's harder for like masculine men to, cause like my homeboy is like, every show I watch, it's like it's there and it's
Yeah,
in
they are kind of
overabundance.
like, yeah, that is true.
But you got to think about how
That's the reality now.
It is the reality.
Yeah.
It really has been the reality longer than we've known because they've had to hide for so long. You know what I'm saying? So
Like, I can't watch RuPaul's Drag Race a lot.
I haven't watched it. I haven't seen it.
It's a fucking nightmare, in my opinion.
We gotta
in
be
my
careful.
opinion.
We gotta
yes,
be
yeah,
careful.
we're starting to
man.
cross these fucking
We
lines.
gotta be careful.
But
The live show is live though, and like the behind the scenes sucks. I
think the behind the scenes is always the best.
oh yeah, because they come to Austin, right?
yeah.
Oh,
they
what are
come
you talking
out
about?
here.
You're talking about, okay, hold on,
drama.
no.
You talking about the drag race, right?
Okay,
No, I'm
yeah.
just talking about the drag show in general.
Oh.
You go to a drag show. This shit's pretty live.
That was the
I need to
only
go.
real time that it had happened to me. So I had to like film at all these like local businesses and shit, like kind of like a video Yelp, and
Okay.
like we're putting it together and shit. And we went to this place called About
Time.
About Time.
Yeah.
Up north.
It's gone now.
Really,
It's
it was a terrible location.
it. You know who? Okay, so you know that pink restaurant downtown, Taquiera Mucho, and Gabriella's.
Yeah.
The DJ, the Mexican chick that owns those two restaurants, she opened a restaurant in About Time too.
Oh, really?
So it's like a Mexican seafood. What's
Oh,
the shit
nice.
called? Sushi fusion.
Yeah.
Fusion.
Nice.
It's good.
Dude,
But
Gabriella's is pretty good.
It ain't about time no more.
I didn't know it was a DJ that ran that. That's
Her
fucking
name,
awesome.
yeah, I forget her name, but she's a DJ,
Yeah.
and she owns 4 restaurants because there's Gabriella's. No, there's 2 Gabriellas. There's one
Yeah,
out
there's
south,
one in South Park Meadows now.
right, and then there's that About Time, that old place, which is called Serranos or something like that.
Serrano's.
Something like, no, it's not Serranos.
Oh.
And then Taquiera Mucho, and she has like a little coffee shop, so she owns like 5 spots now.
So my About Time 2 experience was terrible.
yeah.
I had this white guy who was one of the top salesmen, and he was with us, and I'm like, dude, there's no way I can go on camera and say something good about this place. Like, it's not gonna seem genuine. It's not that I can't say something good about this place. Like, hey, I'm drinking for fucking free. Like, this is awesome.
Right.
But it was just. It wouldn't come off as genuine.
Right.
And he goes on, man, and he just goes fucking crazy. Like he's like all into it and this and that. He was like, I don't see how you couldn't do that. I'm just like,
God.
oh, okay, cool. And then next thing you know, there's a drag show tonight too, by the way. I'm just like, oh shit. And so then that all starts happening, and like this guy is just literally just right here, like twirling around on roller skates in a dress. Throwing me the fuck off. And it's like, I think they only like came to fuck with me because they knew.
They could smell it on
They're like, you look uncomfortable. Let's make it a little worse.
Make it worse.
But they were nice people.
Yeah.
It was just fucking.
It's always funny to me when men are like, they were nice people, like otherwise they were aliens. Like, y'all gotta chill out.
Well, what am I? They're not nice women. That's what
so
they.
let's stop.
Okay. Full stop.
Full stop. We gotta relax.
Hey.
We have to relax.
I did get groped though one time though. Went to the drag show and Zorro grabbed my butt.
Zorro.
It was Halloween. There was my old lady and her gay brother, my gay sister somewhere in the audience, and I get a big handful grab on my ass when I'm standing at the bar getting drinks, and I'm thinking it's my old lady. And I'm like, that was really strong. That was really
Little
aggressive.
did you know you got pickpocketed.
I
felt
turned around
calluses.
and it was Zorro in his whole get up, and he's like, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" And I was like, well, "Shit, you have to now." Took that drink and.
So when you accept a drink from Zorro,
Does he keep grabbing your ass?
No, he already paid for it, man.
Oh, he paid for the prior ass.
Oh
grab.
yeah, he got a nice handful of prime.
Bro, you know what's funny about the fact his name is Zorro? When we went to midget wrestling, you loved Montaluna, who looked just like Zorro.
Montaluna.
He was dressed like Zorro.
They have that here in Austin?
Oh man, they come all the time. These little fuckers are crazy.
You got to tell me when's the next one because I have to surprise my homeboy with that shit. I got to like take him.
That shit is fucking nuts. We wound up getting ringside, like right on one of the turnbuckles, and then we got to like see that. Like there was this one guy called Psycho. And man, he was a little fucking psycho, man. And he gets up on the fucking bars and we're filming him. And he just like looks back at the camera like, and then jumps off it and like kills this other midget. And it's like, what in the fuck is going on?
That shit is too good.
Yo, so fucking crazy. Yo,
There's this, I'm so bad with names. There's these artists, when they perform, they have girls that put on gloves and they fight. Like during their performance, I'm gonna have to find them for you so you can get them on the show. Like
an MMA style type.
Nah, they ain't. These girls ain't. They ain't professional at all.
Also, like a petroleum jelly fight.
No, it ain't petroleum. It ain't sexy because hoes is getting beat up. I mean, it's sexy because eventually, when you fight long enough, a titty gonna fall out. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But it's like. Right. I think what it is, it's like a mind warp. It's like you're performing, then you got these girls fighting. Like it's a niche. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's crazy. It's weird. You just made me think about it. I'm gonna send it to you when I find it. I saw it for the first time. It was just like on somebody's story. I was like, this is happening in Austin?
Have you ever seen Sorry to Bother You with Lakeith Stanfield?
Yes, man.
So it's like whenever they were throwing like the goat blood and like batteries at her.
Right.
It's like that.
It's like, it is like a ritual, like a weird thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
But people fuck with it though.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
That was a good movie.
Yeah. I think that's like the twist. I never give off the twist. I always want to, but
don't give it to the people.
Man, it's so good. So good.
I'm ready for Atlanta to come back. Man.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's like COVID just shut it down, man. And how long is it going to take for us to get it?
And he already wasn't pressed.
Right.
Like,
no, yeah.
He did a movie with Rihanna. Did you see that movie?
It was all right.
It was all right.
Visually. but like the
visually
story,
it was beauty, but the storyline was like, it had holes in it.
yeah,
right?
yeah, tons
Right.
of holes.
Tons of holes.
It was ass.
It was more of
as
like a
movie.
music video.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's what it should have been. But like he's not pressed. He doesn't care. Like he's kind of like, I create to create. Like I do the art for the art, not for
That's
the
the
money.
lavish thing
or,
about him. Like,
it is.
Like Daniel Glover as his director name. Man, everything he makes is gonna be fucking golden. Like
Every time.
I mean, even that, like it wasn't great, but that was awesome to see that.
It
Like,
was beautiful.
It was a spectacle.
Right. It was beautiful. Everything about it was beautiful. The storyline could have been better, but
Yeah.
it was a beautiful sight to see.
Like I mean, it's like when I couldn't say he's I don't know if he wrote that or not, but when he writes like the Atlanta episodes, those are the craziest ones. It's like with the piano guy or whatever.
When he went to the house,
Oh my god,
I still need that episode explained to me. Like
it's weird. You have to watch it at least 3 times to even get it.
I've been meaning to like look up the synopsis for it, like to understand like what was going on.
There's no fucking telling. There's literally no. Do you follow Lakeith on Instagram, or have you ever looked at his Instagram?
I don't think so.
He's a special person.
He's an interesting character, huh?
Very much so. It's like I love Lakeith. He's probably my favorite actor right now.
Okay.
100%. But when you look at his Instagram, it's
weird.
eccentric.
Eccentric.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to start using eccentric and not weird.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
That's my hardest thing. So it's like when I grew up, like we were saying like all the bad shit that we shouldn't say today.
Right.
So in order for me to have a talk show, especially while I'm fucking drinking,
Yeah.
it's like it's hard to. I think I've been pretty good at it. Well, what would you say, Marcos? You think I've kept myself under control for the most part? I think I have. There's numerous dick jokes, which is funny. Oh, that's so funny.
Oh yeah, tell him.
Kat came in and somebody was telling her that
You should check out the show
Yeah, you
before
should
you
watch
go.
the show.
Yeah.
And the first thing she pulls up is like, okay, so this guy was sucking my dick, right? It's like,
They were like, "Are you sure you need to?" It's like, look, man. I now I want to see what's going on. All right.
yeah, it's a fucking shit show, man. And we made like before the season start, we do shit shows to where it's just like, well, we can't do them anymore because now we make money on YouTube, and so now they own us, or at least they think they own us. And also they still owe me $37.15.
Run it.
Yeah. So it's like now we definitely have to be careful about what we say. Like we can't talk about a lot of current issues, which is very interesting.
Right.
That like people aren't allowed to talk about that shit.
It's crazy.
And then it's like, it's just bullshit.
Like Nicki Minaj talking about
Politics.
swollen balls.
Bro, and the fact that that shit,
Swollen balls.
oh my God. And the fact that that shit like didn't even come from her, bro. Like there has been multiple reports of this shit.
So they're
No,
saying that
seriously.
the swollen balls happened from that, but then it was a meme saying that he actually had an STD, and that's what the swollen balls.
And see, that's probably the truth. That's probably more than likely the truth.
This is all based on this.
And
But- But so Haiti actually turned down some of the vaccines at first.
I don't think you could say that.
Okay, they turned down a bunch of
stuff.
juice.
They know what we're talking about. Yeah.
They turned down a bunch of juice at first, but then you got to also think like, what kind of juice are we giving Haiti? Like Haiti's not gonna get the good juice.
No,
Never.
They've been trying to kill Haiti since the
You know what I'm saying?
revolution.
It's like we're trying to loot what they have and then get them the fuck out of here.
Right.
So they couldn't have gotten good juice.
Right.
But before she had even spoke about it, apparently the juice had done this to other people.
So this isn't a new. This ball swelling thing isn't a new thing.
This is not a new thing.
And that's my only thing is like you don't know what your body specifically is going to react. Like if you're not giving me a physical before to find out that I have
Right.
a cyst on this part of my body that if it goes with this, then my body's gonna explode from the inside out. Like you can't. Like I need to
can't
know
do it.
what's popping before you know what I'm saying?
And it's like y'all are making this for like a mass of people. You're literally making it for the whole world. Mm-hmm. And the whole world is completely different.
It's completely different.
Like there's no way. I mean, me and you have total different diets,
Right.
obviously.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But it's like you've been bred and you've grown up having this immune system, having this, that wrong with you, being exposed to this and that. So how in the fuck is my juice supposed to be the same amount of juice that you get? Also, I'm a little reactive to strawberries. So it's like, okay, we're just gonna kill you.
Yeah, you're
No big deal.
Some people are gonna die.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to understand. My friend, she like works in the office and stuff, and so her boss said that like they had been out for a long time. It's actually a place I used to work at. I won't say their names because
Right.
I don't fuck with them, but
Fuck them.
she was saying like when they're starting to go back, and her boss was just like, it's just some people are gonna die, some people are not.
Yeah.
And that's the mentality that they have behind us. Like that, I don't want to be the person to die.
That's a good point.
I mean,
Motherfuckers die every day.
But I did see a meme where they was like, it was like a picture of Nicki Minaj before she got her ass shots, and then her after the ass shot, and they was like, oh, she worried about what they injected it.
Like, why is my ass swelling like this?
They was like, oh, she worried about what's being injected. She ain't, she don't care.
That's a good meme.
She don't care. I mean,
That's
I'm
a
just
good meme.
saying. I don't understand. Like, I do not have a problem with the plastic. Like, do what you need to do, but if you are not going to a FDA approved, like,
Mexico's where it's at.
how are you okay with that?
That's scary as fuck. I wouldn't go to Mexico to get a checkup. Like, no. I mean, it just seems sketch as fuck.
It's just like, I have a friend, like his baby mama decided to go to the DR to get surgery.
Yeah, I've heard the DR is where it's at too.
And this is my only thing. Like, if I don't have enough money to get it here, and I'm gonna cut corners to go and let somebody cut corners into my body, like, I don't know. Safety at the least.
Right. Well, regulation is what you got to look at. But there's some doctors out there that are like on their shit.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not for a second. I'm not thinking that they're not capable or any of that. But I feel like if I am cutting corners to do something to my body, then I may need to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I may need to rethink this. It has nothing to do with their practices or what they're doing. If you've done your research, you find she's great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the surgery was great. Everything's great. But I just think that initial, like,
No, 100%.
the fact that I'm making that,
and especially with asses, because it's like that's something that you can attain. I mean, it takes a lot of work, but you can attain an ass.
I don't know, man.
I think you can.
I'm kind of small. I don't think I'm gonna get too much ass, bro. It ain't happening. I've been this small in my life. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to.
Have you focused on getting ass?
No, but I'm about to start.
There we go.
The only
Period.
thing, the only surgery that I think I would ever have is like when I have a kid. And then the small boobs go to the no boob saggy thing. Like, it's okay to have saggy boobs if you got big boobs.
Those are the studs. I don't know how they got those. How
because they tape them down.
Ah.
They tape them down
True.
religiously.
Right.
And so when they take off eventually they do it on purpose.
Yeah.
They want it like that. But big boobs can sag. Like, we just gonna pick them big motherfuckers up.
Yeah.
But little boobs sag, it's just sad. It's just, oh, man.
Yeah, it's kind of little.
It's depressing, you
Yeah.
know?
I don't know. Let me see.
That ain't my problem. That ain't my problem.
I was just
shit.
saying it generally. I wasn't directing it at
Marcos
anybody
has
in
never been this
particular.
bold. That was an interesting
How
take.
dare you? No, I'm just
That was interesting.
That was in general.
I'm
It's
proud
on
of
the
him.
internet.
I'm proud of it. No, Marcos, that ain't my issue.
Yeah,
All right?
there we go.
Doesn't seem so.
Here we
this
go.
angle.
This is
From
what
this
they were
angle.
telling me.
This is that part of the podcast.
I finished my drink, so you know what I'm saying? I was just,
Fuck you,
Do you need another drink? Or you
Nah.
want to finish this up?
we can finish it up. We
All
finish
right.
it up.
So one question I haven't asked. This is the first season, or the fourth season, but it's the first season I haven't asked. Tits or ass?
Ass.
All the way, right?
All the way.
I agree.
My favorite stripper is Malaya. And if y'all know who Malaya, I don't know if y'all know
Yeah,
her.
I know Malaya.
She's bottom heavy as fuck, and she's got really, really
That's
small
her
boobs.
ass?
I don't know. I think it is.
You know, I just recently learned what BBL stood for. I didn't even know for the longest time, but now I know.
Wait, what does BBL stand for?
Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
knew that.
I had
knew that.
no idea.
Yeah. No, I think because Malaya Ben had that ass for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I love a thick, bottom heavy with small boobs. So this is my thing.
Right. I love titties. I love ass. And I do believe that an ass sets a frame on a woman. Like, no matter what. Like, ass is prominent.
Right.
But I love titties. I
Yeah,
go that way.
men do love titties.
It's life. It's life. Titties are life.
They are. They give life.
They give. They have the ability to give and to take life.
I can't deal. I can't deal.
Yo, Kat, thank you so much for fucking coming through.
Oh,
Is there anything
yes.
you would like to talk about before we go?
I think we talked about it all. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's
I mean, we could talk about more. I come back.
Yeah, there's a part 2 with Kat, 100%.
100%.
100%. Before you go, let the people know where they can find you and everything like that.
It's cat period everywhere. Instagram is thecat.__, but my website is cat period. Has all my links there. Facebook is cat period.
Nice. Kat, thank you. Yo, dab me up, bro. My guy. Yo. Yeah, you can have your cutscene this time, you fucking piece of shit. Bye, guys.
Bye.
出来，出来。